Why is success so difficult to sustain? If you look across the sweep of business history, most companies which at one point were widely regarded as unassailably successful, a decade or two later you find them in the middle of the pack and often at the bottom of the heap. And I reached the strangest conclusion after having studied this for a number of years, which is that it's actually the principles of good management that we teach at the Harvard Business School that sow the seeds of every company's ultimate failure. I will begin by just showing you this diagram on the screen that plots on the vertical axis the performance of a product or service over time. And this is a model that we call the disruptive innovation model that describes how new technologies can overtake an industry and transform the way their products or services are delivered. In every market, there are two trajectories of improvement. The first, which is represented by this dotted red line, is that in every market there's a trajectory of improvement that customers are able to utilize. Now, there's a distribution in every market. So at the high end, there are very complicated problems and very demanding customers where they'll never be satisfied with the best that's available. And at the low end of every market, there are simple problems and simple folks that can be overserved by very little. So that's the first piece of the model, is in every market there's this trajectory of improvement that customers can use. Now, the second piece of the model is that in every market there's a different trajectory of improvement that innovating companies provide as they keep introducing better and better products. The most important finding about this is this trajectory of technological progress almost always outstrips the ability of customers to use the progress. And a good way to visualize this is if you just go back to the mid-1980s on the left-hand side of that diagram, when we were first learning to do word processing on those early personal computers. Do you remember how often you had to stop your fingers to let Intel's 286 chip catch up to you? Because Intel's fastest processor wasn't even fast enough to keep pace with your fingers. But Intel just kept introducing faster and faster chips until a few years ago when they hit a 3 gigahertz Pentium 4 processor that actually shot way beyond the speed that most customers in mainstream business applications could use. Now, some